How's you doing? This is the premiere episode of Mamma Mia, it's Stone! Hey!
Yeah.
I'm over here accompanied by my guest, of course. To the left, we got my right-hand man. On the left side, though, the bag man, Goldie.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
To the right, we got fucking Dre Day up in this house. And of course, up front, in the front, we got Javier, about to get busy.
Shysters, my friend.
Shiest! Hey! It happens. What can I say? Bada bang.
I get baptized as they go, but go ahead.
So how's you fucking guys doing today? It's a lovely day, right?
California is very good.
It's nice warm weather.
It's a little warm for the time of the year. But
Oh, wow.
It's supposed to be, what, fall or winter?
Fall.
Fall.
Oh,
Fall back.
I think we're falling.
Ooh.
But go ahead, brother.
Woo. That's some high-powered shit right there. Courtesy of Burner's Cookies.
Who's?
I would love to be sponsored by Burner. Shout out to Burner. Be real.
The cooking brand.
And all the cannabis connoisseurs and cultivators in the whole world. Smoke one for the nation. So,
I got like Wiz Khalifa in this right now.
Goldie smoking on the Wiz Khalifa. Good smoke. So, I want to start the topic off today.
Oh shit, hold up, man. I don't even got the mic on.
Oh, that was practice. Technical
It's
difficulties.
still cool.
We'll be back in the next one.
Let me see if I can put it on right
Oh.
now.
He might be
Oh,
able
yeah,
to put it on now.
Right?
Yeah, right? Like pop it in right now. It'll sound better. You heard the difference.
Get the real thing now.
Yeah, now you're gonna hear us.
Go
You
ahead.
still keep it going.
Welcome to the premiere installment of Mamma Mia, it's Stone! Hey!
Take two.
Alright, so we wanted to start off this premiere episode of the topic of the new Kanye West album.
Oh, what?
And it was also actually premiered upon the Appeals show already.
Yeah, we did a
Music
spotlight
Generation.
on. We did a spotlight on Jesus is God.
Is that the name?
With
No, the
that,
album.
with Kaka.
Is that what the... What's the name of the song?
God is. Damn, something Jesus is God. No, I think.
What are you guys talking about?
The
Kanye
Kanye song
West.
that we spotlighted.
Never heard of him.
It's not important. It doesn't matter what the song is. So we want to talk about Kanye's new direction in heading towards spirituality. Seems like a lot of new songs that he's got now seem to be primarily gospel based instead of being hip hop based or even mainstream rap based. I want to ask you guys how you feel about that. Like, do you think this is coming from a real sincere place in Kanye's heart? Is he really doing this out of his heart, or do you think this has to do with some type of gimmick or promotions?
I think it's a how you say strategized plan.
Strategically.
Yeah,
Strategically.
strategically planned. Like obviously he got something in the end where, because he's linking up with other church people, and there's money in that too.
I
you
think
know?
it's a fucking gimmick. He's
Yeah,
full of
it's a
shit. Yeah. It's gonna backfire on him in the long run.
I don't.
He's
think,
playing with God. That's what he's doing.
Yeah, but it's not gonna last long. It's gonna be temporary. It's gonna be a trend. It's gonna be a phase for him.
I agree. I think it's gonna actually. I think he's gonna actually hit the jackpot. I think he's gonna get even people like Yolanda Adams and different gospel singers and artists to do songs with him. But I don't see this going more than 2 or 3 years, and that's it. It's done. But I think if he keeps on doing it, he's gonna get pigeonholed as just doing gospel music, and everyone's gonna forget about his hip hop and rap.
I think everyone already did.
It's hard to say. I mean,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Hey!
I can't have a conversation about him. He's just a joke to me.
You
He's
have
a
not
complete
listened to
fucking
one
joke.
Kanye album at all?
I've listened to his music
okay.
over the years. I'm not. I mean,
Recent, I'm sure you
If-
don't like the recent shit.
if he was just a producer,
Yeah.
then he would have. I think he would have been okay.
Okay.
Nobody needs to hear him on the mic acting like he's a genius or whatever he calls himself. All these dumb things. Like,
You haven't watched Saturday Night Live,
Jesus.
huh?
the what?
You haven't watched Saturday Night Live, have you?
The time he was on there.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Oh,
episode, but I heard
you
about
need
it.
to.
Yeah.
You need to.
I think all the comedians on the show were kind of offended by him,
Oh,
Yeah, it's possible.
It probably, yeah. I don't know.
for the majority.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This to me, first two albums. Excuse me. As far as fucking two albums.
Who is this guy?
First two albums from Kanye, top notch, really
Yeah,
choice.
yeah.
I like them. I think
College
they're
Dropout
great.
is a classic.
I think they're both classics. I think they're both great albums. I like almost all the songs on both of them. After that, I felt like it was a huge drop off, and he started changing his direction, especially when he did the heartbreaking 808s. That's when I was like, I'm done.
FYI,
I'm not doing it no more.
He stole that formula from T-Pain.
Oh yeah, the whole
He
The
basically
808 shit he was doing.
yeah,
whole-
808s and
auto-tune.
the
Auto-tune.
auto-tune. So he even told T-Pain to his face, like, yo, 808s and Heartbreaks is rapper turned singer, and that was T-Pain's album. And he straight up told him, yo.
Well, from what I know personally, I know that he actually had T-Pain come down
Oh yeah,
and show him how to use certain programs and auto-tune.
yeah.
Oh wow.
You're right.
Wow, that's-
I'm not a Kanye West fan, but I'm a hip hop fan.
Yeah.
So I try to stay up with as much relevancy within hip hop music as possible. You know, I've been listening to hip hop since fucking 1984.
1984 people. Shit.
Wowzers.
Was hip hop in the West Coast around that time even?
Yes,
It was-
yes. Ice-T and Too
Well, it
Short.
wasn't
Ice-T and Too Short were blowing up.
on the radio too?
No, not on
Oh,
the radio.
Okay, cool.
But not too much rap was even on the radio in the first place in
Not
1984.
in that era.
Yeah.
Probably
It
not.
was barely started. It was more around 1986 when the Beastie Boys dropped License to Ill, Run DMC, Raising Hell, and LL Cool J, Bigga, and Deffa. All of a sudden, rap music started getting played on the radio.
Yeah, they started getting their stations or
More like Power 106 out
I
here.
think it was
KD,
KD was the
K-Day, 1580 AM. It was on AM. That was
Oh, wow.
mostly all hip hop and R&B.
KSPC.
KSBC had only certain
College?
slots. They would
That's
only play like
interesting.
slots for like 3 hours.
One of my favorite stations, by the way.
Yeah, they had a
K-Space.
big hip hop thing back in the day.
Shout out to DJ Drone and Kevin Sedota
Droney.
from
But-
KSPC, our homies, DJ Drone,
KSPCs?
GSK in the
87
motherfucking house.
KSPC.
Oh!
Great station.
Back in the day, DJ Dub.
Still-
Ranch.
they dropping history
Still,
right
still,
now.
a
Yeah.
good,
Fucking
still
history.
good station. Still a good station.
Like I was,
Yes, I agree with you.
They
One of
still
my
play,
favorites.
and like I say, they all have their like 3-hour slots of different
I
types.
like
of
that. Yeah, it's real radio right there.
It's college radio.
College
So
radio.
it's to do a lot of
College
things.
I love it though.
I know
I love
Javier's all
college
about
radio.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
And they have a good variety. They play flashbacks.
Yes.
They play experimental. They
Everything.
play punk.
Dude, I was listening to some 20s music at KSPC one time. It was really good stuff. You know?
Swing era.
Yeah, I mean they can't beat that. You know, some
Gershwin.
Yeah, I like that. I like when they know.
You think
the
I knew
music.
about that, huh?
Yeah, no, that's good. That's kudos.
Fucking Tony over
Come
here.
on, come on.
Hey,
I'll drink to that.
I'll drink to that.
I'll drink to them.
Yeah.
For
Oh,
you
yeah.
guys.
There you go.
Sorry, I gotta
So,
be
yeah.
obnoxious with that every now and then.
I don't have a football team
Well-
for professionals. So I don't care.
The song that we did
College.
at from Kanye in at Drake's Car Studios, right? Cursing. From the content of the song, I mean, it was pretty legit. I guess my only thing on that song that we heard, I didn't think he's much of a singer. Other than that, you know, it sounded
Was
like
he singing on
gospel.
that?
He was
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't want to hear him sing.
It was
I mean,
it was off key.
yeah, yeah. I mean, the music arrangements,
It's
sounded
nice.
like.
I felt like
And-
I felt like it was a joke when he was
Yeah.
singing.
And what the fuck is up with that church shit he's doing every Sunday?
Yeah, that's it's all connected.
No, I-
No, it's all
something like
connected.
That's going too far.
That's
Yeah.
money.
It's
People
all
come and
connected.
see that show.
Yeah,
That's
but,
money.
But he's
Did you
playing
know
with
that the
religion,
gospel-
He's playing with God. He's,
He is.
Yeah.
But do you know that this is why he's doing it? Do you know that the gospel market is the biggest market for making money in music?
No, he's doing it because he fucked up and backed Trump and got all that backlash. Now he's oh no, look at me, I'm a Christian. I'm a good Christian.
Yeah, I'm a
So
good
he's-
boy, yeah.
You
That's-
saying
And a
he's
lot of
trying to-
people jump back on his side,
He's
even
true.
though he's a fucking Trumpster.
He's doing it back to get back the love from the people that
Yeah,
dissed him?
because everyone dropped him. They were
Sure.
like, fuck this guy.
Yeah.
Not everybody, but people were starting to.
Okay.
Yeah, well, some people want to stay in business, and that's probably.
Yeah, exactly.
You're probably
He wants to stay
right.
in
That's
business.
probably it's hard to say, I guess. And time will tell.
Time will tell.
That's my.
I think we're gonna look back and
yeah.
like laugh at him and be like, this guy was just wow.
It's easy
Do
for me because I
anything to
never liked
fucking
his
get
music.
paid.
Yeah.
So, and now I think he's even more of a
Yeah.
horrible person.
To me, he's a sellout. He's a definition. He's a definition of a
Sounds to me
sellout.
like he could
And
be.
Well, hold up. You can't say someone that he didn't bring a. He wasn't 100% a rapper. I didn't call him a rapper. Like, yo, he's just someone that's trying to do music when he came into the game.
He should have just stayed as a producer.
Yeah, but he should have just been a producer then. He should be a producer
Then-
that raps
then
sometimes.
if he would have
Like
done
Pete
that,
Rock. Pete Rock doesn't do whole albums where he's rapping. He just comes out in songs where he raps. Not all the time though.
if he would have just been a producer, he'd be mentioned up there with the Dr. Dre's and the DJ Premiers,
Exactly.
you know, Scott Storch and all those people that are like
Exactly.
known for producing, not rapping.
Timberland, Pharrell.
Fuck
I don't
Pharrell.
know a lot about the guy.
I don't like Pharrell either.
Oh,
I ain't nothing happy about your music, motherfucker.
But
no, but you know what I mean?
He was
If he would
silly.
have just stuck to that, he would have been better off.
Remember when Pharrell wore that silly hat for a while?
the 10
That
gallon
Elmer
hat.
Fudd? Is it Elmer Fudd?
Wow,
Or
it's
something?
a 10
Fucking
gallon
10
No, not
hat.
gallon.
Elmer Fudd.
10 gallon hat.
I don't know what that was about.
Yosemite Sam, the Yosemite Sam. Yeah.
Oh,
Yosemite.
That's
Oh wow.
somebody sounds funny.
Yosemite Sam. Yosemite Sam fucking hat. You look silly. You look silly, Pharrell.
Oh my gosh. Well, I don't know much
I love
about
your
the
beats,
artist,
though.
but you know, from what I've seen, I guess as a creator, I guess he does have some creativity, but I mean, I don't know enough to say that I'm not a fan of him because I don't follow that kind of stuff. But like I said, for the one song that I did hear, that we showed spotlighted, I thought I was like I said, I liked it other than his singing. You know, if he's gonna do, you know.
Throughout the whole album.
I'm not gonna say that I didn't hear the whole album to really make a fair judgment on it. You know, I mean, musically speaking, I'm thinking.
I still think he's a
yeah.
star.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. You know, I mean.
Hey!
I'll give you a
Yeah.
good example of what a great producer he can be.
Yeah.
Through the Wire.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Song that he sang, that he rapped over.
Mhm.
Take him out of that song and put in a good fucking rapper, good MC
Oh,
or
yeah.
something.
Yeah.
That song would have been fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That was a good sample.
Yeah.
The way he did that beat was awesome. So he is a good producer. It's just
Oh, album's good, man.
like stay away from the microphone. Like nobody wants to hear your fucking thoughts or opinions on shit.
That's what
Be a
I
producer.
said.
Like what Ice Cube said, stick to producing.
Hey, yo, Dre, stick to producing.
Yeah,
Kanye,
check.
stick to producing.
Damn. Okay.
Cool,
So
cool.
let's.
And that's all I gotta say about that.
So we're gonna wrap that one up. So let's shift topics. Anyone? Oh. So anyone that fucking knows.
Who is this guy?
So it's like there's two guys in the room.
Hold up, what's in
So anyone that fucking knows about Tone. Knows Tone loves his flowers.
flowers? Yes.
Tone himself is a cannabis connoisseur.
And thank you for saying flowers, because now you got wax, you got shit that
Yes.
you got to be specific now
Yes,
when it
you
comes to THC.
Because it's a whole different ball game when it comes to the whole THC market, the whole cannabis, the whole cannabis community has really taken it up to the next level. Is basically, I feel like people nowadays are fucking weed scientists. So now you have concentrates, you have wax, you have flowers, you have edibles,
Oh
you even have drinks.
Yeah, drinks.
You have you have topicals.
We have
CBD
rubs,
topical creams.
oils.
Medicinal purposes.
Yeah.
So we're gonna talk about that. I want to really talk about like the difference nowadays. I think people more because now it's legal, by the way. Well,
In California.
most places, and
Yeah.
also Colorado,
Yeah.
the West Coast mostly.
Nevada.
Good.
Mostly the West Coast,
Yeah.
Nevada's legal?
and also Washington, Seattle, Washington. Mostly the West Coast.
Yeah.
Not Oregon,
We're the
though,
front.
right?
We're the
Oregon.
New York
Yeah.
is still struggling.
We're the
Should be.
pioneers. We're the pioneers. We're leading
Colorado.
the pack. We're leading the movement.
Colorado
Colorado,
was
definitely,
the one that
definitely,
is the
The
first
first
recreational.
one, yeah.
definitely Colorado. We're the pioneers. We're leading the pack. We're leading the movement. Now to me, I want to clarify the difference between medicinal and recreational. Personally, myself, I think that I'm 50-50. I think that I'm both. Because unfortunately, I was in a car accident back in like 2000, oh shit, like 2005, 2006 maybe. And I have physical back problems. I have a semi-herniated disc.
Wow.
So to relieve that pain, the thing that works the best for me to self-medicate is marijuana. And I like trying to get as high percentage of THC as possible out of all the strains that I like to indulge in. And I like hybrids that are indica dominant, and I like indicas. But I do have a hybrid that's sativa dominant, and I like to puff on that right before I go to work.
It's an upper.
It's a upper because it's a stimulant, because it gets my mind
But not your body.
going, but not my body. I'm still functional. I could do anything physically. So that's medicinal, but recreational. Yes, I do admit I like getting high. It feels good, and I've mentioned it before on my strain reviews. I like having all the stress melted away from my body, stress relievers, and I like getting that couch lock activation.
Ooh.
Especially after work when I come home, load up some bowls, and I could go right to sleep and sleep like a fucking baby. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anybody's views on that?
Well, I think I started off as medicinal, just body pain, joints, joint pain, and all that.
Same thing.
Obviously, indicas
Your go-to
are the ones. I mean, sativas ain't gonna do shit for
They
that.
ain't gonna do shit for your body.
Yeah.
It's just head.
GMO cookies was the only one that I've tried that actually worked like perfect for me, like for what I'm feeling.
Oh, okay.
I just can't find it anymore. I got
That's the thing I
That's
hate
not that hard to
about
find,
nowadays.
All the cookies are great though.
No, but like back in the day when the weed was like chronic was what, years and years, but now you get a strain that only goes 2-3 months. For real? Right?
Kind of, not really, because sometimes they have to do the cycle too. Sometimes like they'll miss out on the cycle and it'll take like another 3 months for it to be grown.
God.
Well,
It'll come back.
you know, Currency is.
Yeah, he has the Andretti fucking. I want to try that.
Well,
one.
he was on another podcast and he was talking about how that strain goes back to the Grateful Dead days. They used to smoke that back then. It's the same strain. They kept it going, but they were trying to do something to make it a little bit better. And so when he was looking for a strain to endorse, he tried that one. He goes, no, I want that. He goes, what is that? And they told him like this is an old strain, and they've been doing little shit to it here and there. But that's the one he chose. So when you smoke that, the Currency, was it called Andretti?
Andretti.
When you
Like
smoke
Mario
that strain has been around
right?
since the 60s.
It's one of his. He has like 1 million.
One of his-
Currency. Personally, I like the guy.
And I'm not one of those like I know shit about marijuana. I don't know shit about marijuana.
He does great music with that. He does great music with the Alchemist. Personally, I think Alchemist is the best producer in the game right now.
Yeah.
I think he's #1 in hip hop. Also, the Andretti. So the Andretti weed, I've been personally wanting to try it. It's not that easy to come around out here
That's pretty new.
because because Currency is even from out here.
He's from the south.
He's from North.
That's why. That's why. It's I think if you go to the
Cajun.
south,
Yeah.
if you go to the
You
south,
can find. He said you can find
Yeah.
it. You just gotta know someone that really knows what it's like.
I've only seen one dispensary out here, and it's like in Santa Ana. It's not even LA.
I'm sure.
A dispensary in Santa Ana carries his weed, but that's it.
Or weed fly, leaf fly.
Deliveries.
No, like you could search up the strain and then find a local strainery.
Weed map.
Weed maps. Yeah,
Weed
there
maps.
you go.
Shout outs to Weed Maps. Go on Weed Maps for everything you need to
Yeah.
know about cannabis. Everything. It has everything covered. That's how I found out about the strain, because I heard that Currency has an Andretti strain, and I looked it up on Weed Maps,
Is it,
and it showed me Santa Ana.
is it indica base or hybrid or what is it?
I forgot on that one actually.
He might have said it. I just.
But he's into OG, so I think he's an indica dude because I remember he always.
It's
like-
either
Oh yeah, you know
it's
what?
either
He did say,
indica.
like he said, it has to be OG or
Yeah.
So I think it
It's
is.
indica then. It's
Ooh.
indica.
Let me. Have you guys seen Smokebox?
Yes.
Oh,
Oh
you
yeah.
know what I'm
Fuck
talking
yeah.
about? Okay.
Of course. Of course.
All right. Cool. I just wanted to know.
Okay, so how about you? How did you start into the whole cannabis?
Peer pressure, I guess. Kicking it with your homies and like, you want to hit? You gonna take a hit? You know? You're like, no.
I was part of that. I got peer pressure.
Just smoke it,
Yeah.
Dre.
Man, trust me, you're gonna love it once you hit it. It'll be okay.
Come on.
Oh, just.
Then I'm
Yeah,
on
I
my
understand
story.
that. How old were you then?
I was 11 years old.
Shut the fuck up! No way, really? That's like my lady says that. Other people, the guy I used to buy weed from, he said he was 12.
Yeah.
Wow.
Damn, that trips me out. My lady was
No,
12.
The
You were
kid,
11.
the kid that gave it to me, he was smoking like since he was 8, 9 years old. But here's the reason though. His brother was a teenager in high school, and you know what you're doing in high school. So
always, if you got the older brother.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh shit,
So
man.
he would take from his older brother.
That's a whole other conversation
Yeah,
right there.
That's good.
That's how I
have an
found
older
out
brother.
about porn, because someone's older brother.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, look at my brother's stash.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
He would take his weed stash
That's
instead
how
of
you
his
found out
porn
about
stash.
more. I think as a boy, it just as soon as your dick gets hurt, you know about.
Wow. Benny Hill.
Evidently, these girls running around with their tits.
Yeah, hell yeah. I was just like, that's the first time I had a boner. I was like, what the fuck?
A boner, not a boner.
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 It's a
I
boner.
remember just watching all those beautiful breasts jiggling around.
It's British television.
Rest in peace,
Benny
Benny
Hill has
Hill.
an awesome story.
No, he's funny.
Benny Hill.
Have
Oh,
you-
yeah, he
look
was
into
funny.
his story.
Have you ever
It's
seen a
deep.
documentary
It's deep.
about him?
No, I never did.
Hey, you might shed a tear.
Yeah.
I'm serious. I'm serious.
Like, you might imagine he had this fancy lifestyle, which he could have if he
A lot of
wanted.
artists don't though.
He was this weird dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he had money though.
Yeah, no, he had.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. He could have lived that life.
See, I'm left
Yeah,
out right now. I
he's a
have
weirdo.
no fucking idea
Yeah.
what you guys talking about.
You never seen the
You
Benny
know
Hill
about
show?
Benny Hill?
I probably know
Oh,
of
And
it.
when you
yeah.
hear the song, then
He
you're probably
needs-
like, oh, okay.
Name
You need to
popping up.
YouTube it.
I know you
Yeah.
know about Benny Hill.
Yeah, I grew up with
Honestly, to me,
I grew up
It
with
is
like,
on YouTube.
when it came to like the first comedy that I ever saw, it was Cheech and Chong
He's just
and
thinking
Benny
about the
Hill.
episode.
Well, back at the time, that was it, you know.
He's a comedian then.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
But from
And he's British. so
England,
you
he's
know,
British.
Oh, British.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No.
That was his whole theme
But
song.
Europe is so different, though. I mean, I remember going.
They're
to
more
Italy,
lenient.
You know.
They're more lenient
Yeah.
with like
Well,
nudity
topless is not a
and
big
nudity.
deal in
Yeah,
Europe.
yeah,
it's
yeah.
normal, you know.
Mhm.
So that's where you used to get
It's
some
different.
of that, you know.
But you know, over
Yeah.
here was it Channel 56 KDOC?
Oh yeah.
They would
Hey,
play
those-
those, and they would
some-
let the girls like they wouldn't
Oh,
even let
National
them know.
Geographic.
Yeah. So, but
Fucking
yeah,
National
No, it's not
Geographic.
National Geographic. it's
Jungle
comedy.
Bush.
The titties that down here.
Bones
Well,
through
when
the
they were
nipples.
kids, they're titties.
Yeah, yeah. They're like, oh.
Doesn't matter how they
Yeah,
look.
it doesn't
dude.
matter.
It's like, oh, I
Small,
saw titties.
man.
today.
Yeah, I just saw some titties.
wows.
Wowzers.
How the fuck you start talking about Benny Hill?
I don't know.
Well, Paul Hogan
Okay.
was the other one.
So how about you? How Shiesta?
Shyster,
how about you?
Chyster's already crazy, man.
No,
I don't-
have you ever smoked?
Nah, dude, I
No
never did.
way, come on.
No.
Come on,
No.
you're from the 80s.
I am, but
I don't
I mean,
believe that.
nah, they didn't allow that, man. You know,
Allow
it's,
it.
and not at the house, man.
Oh,
You
not
know,
at the
house.
yeah,
Okay,
you
okay.
know, it's even
Were your parents?
not only that,
were
you
your
know. I
parents
mean, I'll tell you,
religious?
when I was a kid, you know, as a person, you tend to be curious, you know.
Mhm.
So my uncle used to smoke. He still smokes to this day, but cigarettes.
Oh,
Okay.
oh, damn.
So
No, that's no good.
Yeah, yeah,
I
cancer.
smoke cigarettes.
But you know, I mean, I tried it as a kid and it didn't work, so I just never followed it. You know,
Yeah,
so
but
you
like
know.
he like I don't smoke cigarettes, so why should
so
I smoke
yeah, it's just
weed?
I'm not, you know.
It's not the same.
No, I thought the same. But he probably he didn't like to smoke. A lot of people like to
I
get
don't.
high,
I-
but they don't
yeah.
like to smoke, so
Yeah.
they vape or
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
eat edibles or they.
Dabs even.
the gummies are actually pretty good.
Dabs.
They have
Okay.
gummies?
The gummy bears.
Ooh, but those are dangerous. This little
Those
fucking
are
gummy bear
dangerous.
can
It depends.
ruin your day.
It has to
My
be the
s-
strong shit.
My
for me.
sister-in-law gave me some.
It has to be like the
I
strong
would eat
shit.
2 of them, and it would fit me perfect.
Yeah, okay, 2 is decent, but like think about it when you
But
grab
they were
gummy
big ones.
bears.
They were like big
Oh, okay.
gummies.
But
Those
when
like the
you're
kind I
eating
got.
gummy bears, you
Those are
don't
good.
fucking eat 2 gummy bears. You eat gummy bears like
Oh yeah.
Well,
Wow,
and
but
then
you
next
know
thing
that
you
they
When I'm at the
have
movies.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
I'll go through the
I
whole
did
bag.
watch a report on, I think it was BBC or something. They did a report on that, the difference between eating and smoking weed. You know,
way strong.
and it sometimes it says that what happens because they did some studies,
I
and
know the difference.
the thing is that when you smoke, it's different because from what I understand from what's on the report, it's you get like the quicker high.
Quicker.
And then the guys that ate it, it was different because
Like
it
10,
takes a
20
while because
yeah.
by the time your body digests
over,
it,
yeah.
and sometimes you would overdose because if you you don't get the effect.
Yeah.
Well, let me
You know,
go
but go ahead.
exactly because. Okay, the thing is though, when you eat it, you do have to be careful because it
Yeah.
gets absorbed into your fat cells, And the thing is, if you do like too much,
It
it's
can
not gonna go
bad.
away. It's not gonna go
Oh,
away
yeah, you have to
right
write
away.
it out.
You gotta write it out.
You gotta write it out.
Bill, now the science guy over here.
Like,
But
But
only with weed.
do edibles.
Only with weed, I'm a science guy.
You gotta be responsible when it comes to edibles. Because one time I ate, like, the dude gave me a cookie and he goes, only take half. I'm like, the fuck that? I'm eating the whole cookie.
I'll eat the whole thing.
Yeah.
So did you eat the whole cookie?
I ate the whole
I'll
cookie.
write it out. I'll write it out. I'll write it out.
cookie.
And I had a trip for 12 hours. I had to write it out for 12
I believe
hours.
I'll write it out.
I had a horrible experience with that.
Yeah.
So we had a brownie. Me and my wife had a brownie. It was.
Oh, you guys split it though.
It was a Sunday afternoon, like Sunday night.
Yeah.
And so we took it. She's like, I didn't do shit. I'm like, I didn't do shit either. Whatever.
Oh,
we
yeah.
ate a lot. I don't remember how much we ate of it, but we ate a lot. So we went to bed. She was fine, because she never said anything. Like, it didn't happen for her. But I woke up like at 3 a.m. and I had to take a piss.
Yeah.
So I get up and I almost fell. And I'm like, oh, fuck! Like
that's good.
the first thought was like, I'm still drunk, but I was like, nah, this ain't drunk.
Yeah,
And I'm trying to walk over to the bathroom and I'm fucking grabbing onto everything. And I'm like, dude, I'm fucking high. That stupid edible kicked in.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then I'm like, okay, by the time I get up in the morning, I'll be fine.
You fucking made your legs like.
I got up, I showered, I'm fucking extremely high.
I
I'm
like
getting dressed, I'm extremely high. Sorry, this is wrong. But
I
I took my daughter to school and I was like,
Oh.
and I'm looking in the river mirror, I'm like, oh my god. And I have my daughter in the car. So I didn't.
You gotta play it cool.
The
'cause-
school's not far from the house. So I
love,
dropped
I
her
love
off.
you for that. You kept it real.
I dropped it off. I dropped it. I dropped her off. I just called my daughter to get. I dropped her off, and then I'm like, okay, by the time I get to work, it should be cool. Jump on the freeway, I'm tripping the whole fucking way there. I live in Pomona, I work in Ontario.
Yeesh.
It's like, with traffic in the morning, you're looking
Takes
at
a
a
while.
good 20,
Minutes.
depending to 30 minutes.
And because the way you felt, that 20 minutes felt like an hour.
And then so I get to work, and I'm like, man, this is gonna suck. And I'm thinking, okay, sometime this morning I'll be fine. That high did not go away till 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm sitting in my office, just fucking dazed and confused, like the movie Dazed and Confused out of my mind.
You're
Someone
feeling
will
it.
walk in and I'm like, what? I'm like, what did you say? And just because I wasn't.
You
I
were
get
out
it.
of it.
I don't know how you
Yeah.
gonna fucking work like that, man.
And so 1 o'clock is when I started feeling like, oh shit, it's going away.
Wow.
Yeah, I felt like that too, but I didn't mind it coming down because when I was coming down, I felt relief, and that felt good as hell. Like I felt loose as hell. Like you know how you panic, and then when you're like, oh, everything's okay.
It's like, I'm just
kinda,
tired. Just let it go.
Yeah, I felt like that after the 12 hours. Yeah, but I fell asleep, woke up still high, went to work.
So do you think that because now that they legalize it, it's gonna become like beer, where
Yeah, they're
a lot
gonna
of people are gonna
have
capitalize
laws,
on it.
Yeah.
They're gonna make it like a big business where.
I've already
You know,
seen
'cause that's-
Marlboro already
Uh-huh.
fucking owns a patent.
Okay.
It's gonna be. I think they're gonna do it like how they used to do with fucking cigarettes. I think they're gonna start. You get your fucking like.
But that's where they're gonna
dispensary
ruin it
machine.
because they're gonna start adding shit to it. And that's
Yeah, it's gonna
that's
be
what
whack.
I don't want.
Possibly.
Because they have
It is
to.
gonna. Once Marlboro gets it, it's. I'm not fucking with no Marlboro shit.
Yeah, because they have to keep it preserved. Like they're gonna obviously cut corners and try to save.
I'm getting Burners cookies straight from Burners, or I'm getting shit from Be Real, or I'm getting shit from the Cure Company, or I'm getting shit from Bear
So
Farms.
when that happens, because it's probably gonna happen, all those little mom and pop little farms, they're the ones who where a lot of
I know.
people like
I
him,
know.
who's a naturalist who
I know.
that's where he's gonna be buying his weed from. You're not gonna be able to mess
If
with dispensaries
they
and all that
last
stuff.
though, you never know. Like
No, I think no
People
matter
They're
what,
always
no
gonna,
matter
you're
what,
always gonna have a
no matter what,
purist.
there's gonna be a few. There's always gonna be
Yeah,
a few, no
yeah,
matter
right.
what, no matter what. Just like all like music, there's always gonna be the underground.
there are people that still go shop for CDs. Yeah, like,
That's
no
a
matter
perfect
what.
example of what you just said.
That's
It's
how
just
it
like
is,
hip
no
hop.
matter what.
You're
no
always
matter
gonna
what.
have underground, and then you get your pop shit.
Yeah.
With weed, you're gonna have that fucking
Okay.
shit that everyone's gonna try. So
That's
you're
a
gonna
good-
have
yeah,
that
you're
that
right.
good one. So
I'm still gonna be going to guys that really care about using organic ingredients and methods for growing weed.
and the truth.
that was the
Regulations.
education part of the.
You think they're gonna have
Lesson.
Listen, go
I
ahead.
was gonna say message with it.
Oh,
message.
I like that one better.
Message.
There you go.
That's right. From I'm gonna get you or
Oh,
don't
bro.
smoke. What's it
Don't
called?
be
Don't be a menace.
Don't be
Keenan
a menace
Ivory
while
Wayne's
drinking
the
your-
mailman.
Keenan Ivory Wayne's
Oh,
the
Keenan Ivory Wayne's
Keenan
the-
Ivory
no,
Wayne's
it's
is the
mailman.
shit.
He was the mailman. Every so often he'll come in out of nowhere and message.
message.
But I guess
And the baby.
no, because like I guess the character would say some deep shit and he goes message
For a
like
second.
quotation like pay attention.
Yeah. Because like a lot of like the '90s hip hop movies were doing that.
I understand. Do you think, because of that as well? I mean, you have people that grow their own, and
Yeah.
not only that, they also have said that the government has no way of controlling what people that grow and sell it, what they put into it.
True.
Because there has been, people putting some
They
bad
test
stuff.
them. They test
right?
them.
I mean,
best- to
who
me,
tests them?
They have science labs. They have
The
labs.
government, or who are you referring to?
They have labs.
Uh-huh.
Labs don't work for the government. They're their own. But
Okay.
the labs are actually like people that are like legitimately certified.
Okay, so you're talking about people that
Growing
are certified for that.
botanical.
Yeah.
Growing botanical. What would you say?
Flower?
Flower. And they have labs where they go and they test it and they test everything. They test
the
purity,
THC,
the THC,
CBD.
the CBDs, and then they test the purity. They test they test the terpenes.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, that's
they,
right.
They test like everything. Like
But then you also have the other, right, where there's people who just sell whatever.
exactly.
They
Yeah.
pass through the
Yeah.
system.
Like
Yeah.
personally, me, I'm at this stage in my life where I could afford a little more too. So like I'd rather just pay a little bit more just to get stuff that's already been tested or prepackaged, and I already know that it's good to go. You could tell too as soon as you fucking look at it. Like you can tell.
I can't. You
As long as it's green, it's all clean.
Yeah, to me, I wouldn't know the difference because I'm not
The-
too familiar with
Not
The reason I
necessarily
never really
this-
bought the glue one, like the Gorilla, is it Gorilla Glue?
Yeah,
really
really bomb. It's good, girl.
It
The real
smells
stuff.
disgusting to me.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Like it does smell like glue, and I'm like, yeah, I don't want to smoke this shit.
Oh,
That's what I went to. Like I used to go to Mecca, but then you sample them.
Mecca's whack, first of all.
I just go because it was close to my
Mecca
house.
uses PGRs and pesticides and.
But I would smell.
real
I would smell
chemicals.
the glue ones, and it was horrible.
I knew it was a sativa dominant, so I never even fucked it with my nah, don't bring it my way. Gorilla Glue is sativa
No, it's
dominant.
not.
Huh?
It's indica dominant, but it's a hybrid.
I thought it
But
was
it's funny.
sativa.
I think it is something though. I think it's something like 60-40.
Okay, yeah, that's it.
It's like 60-40. It has a lot of sativa, but for having a lot of sativa, it hits hard.
Okay.
I personally, Gorilla Glue is my go-to.
Oh shit.
If I know like if you got Gorilla Glue and if I know if it's good, I'll get it every time.
Going back to when you're talking about how it became legal, wasn't it at one point you can grow up to 2 plants?
Yeah.
Or is that
I
gone?
forget.
Is
No,
that
it's
no
still,
longer?
it's still around.
Well, that's
It's,
also another question because, like I said, there's people who grow their own for their own use or whatever.
Yes.
So that's still
there's-
legal.
No,
So
it's
will the
still-
government
California,
ever regulate that or?
Yeah, they will.
They do.
They
If you
will.
grow a lot, they'll raid your
No,
house.
but if you have 2 plants, I mean,
they
no
won't
one's
raid you
gonna
for.
see
They
them.
won't fuck with you.
But in case they come in, is that weird? Yeah, I'm allowed to have a couple plants.
Yeah,
That's
as long as
right.
you know the laws. What they'll probably do is fucking keep on coming back.
To see if they can.
Yes, to keep on seeing how much you got, and then they're gonna fucking just keep on keeping in touch with you. And then after a while, if they see if you just do that, they'll leave you alone. But they are gonna fucking keep on coming back for a while.
But also, I think there's also depending on which government branch comes over because I understand
DEA,
that the federal government will.
state and federal is different.
Yeah. Like for example,
it comes
say
to
you're
marijuana-
driving down the street, right, and you get pulled over.
As
by,
far as
Uh-huh.
state goes,
yeah,
They're cool.
Yeah,
you're
the state is
clear
cool,
on
yeah,
everything,
yeah.
Sarge. You're clear on everything. I know. Sarge.
but say for example, it's ICE. You get pulled over by ICE and you have pot in your car.
You'll
Then
get
you get
deported.
no, not if you're not if you're a U.S. citizen.
Eyes can't really pull you over.
Yeah, they can.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
can.
yeah.
They do whack shit now, man.
Yes,
They
Trump is
Well,
Like,
that's-
unless you
that's-
have,
that's
like, a
people who
lawyer-
don't understand
unless
the
you have like a
fucking
lawyer.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you don't have a lawyer, you don't know your
I
rights.
would love for them to pull me over. I was born here. I just want to say, why the fuck are you pulling me over?
Yeah,
yeah.
You're not a cop.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can pull up your birth certificate. You can pull up Social Security. You know you're
I
a
gotta pull out
citizen.
shit. I'll pull out my middle finger. Like, fuck,
I got
No,
doubles.
But in other words, like I think from what my understanding is like it varies, and for example, which office of the government, which branch of the government is, you know,
Federal's more aggressive with the marijuana.
Well, the federal law is it's
because
against
they're
the law.
watching
They said
everyone.
federal oversees state law.
Yeah.
So when it comes to state law, cannabis, weed, everything is just cool. It's clear all across the
Yeah,
board.
for the state. Yeah.
But federal,
You're gonna have issues.
there's different.
They'll convict you,
how do you
probably,
say it?
right? I mean,
There's
Different, punishments?
regulations.
Oh,
regulations.
Yeah.
There's different
Yeah.
regulations. Like yes, you can grow. I forgot what the amount is, but you can. Grow,
I just remember it was something like 2
You
pints.
can grow.
Yeah.
I'm sure
You can
there's
grow
like
up to a certain amount, but that's it. And if
In the
you're in
state
your,
of
and if
California.
you're in your car,
Yeah.
you're only allowed to carry a certain amount.
I
too.
think an ounce, no?
I forgot what it is
Oh.
too. Might be an ounce.
But you cannot drive under the influence.
No,
either,
yeah.
right?
No,
can
you
get-
cannot drive under the
No,
influence.
and they should, you know, they have.
Yeah. And it's
That's
just
a
like
red
beer.
light.
And it's just like
Because you're gonna
beer.
have a bunch of high.
It's just
motherfuckers
like
on
beer.
the highway.
You put it in your trunk.
Yeah.
You put it in your
It's
trunk.
good to
and
know
you-
because, like I said, a lot of people don't know these
Yeah, they don't
things.
know.
Yeah.
and
That's why I want to talk about this because the laws are all changing right now.
Correct.
It's happening right now. It's
And
all. Go ahead, man.
and then there's people who will say, you know, I mean, some people think that they're okay to drive, and the same thing happens with alcohol, you know.
Yeah.
But it is something where a cop could say, we're gonna cite you because you know.
But it's harder to tell if you're on, especially
Different-
if you put the thing on. I think they just go off of smell and dilated people.
Okay, there's different laws.
They don't have a test for that.
No, they don't have a
Okay.
test
No,
for
well, okay,
marijuana.
they're
Or,
trying to.
Like where the
no, they're
breathalyzer-
trying to. Different counties are trying to implement a swab test,
Oh
shit.
wow.
but
Mhm.
there's a lot of red tape around that. There's a lot of like.
Because it'd be 24 hours.
Yes,
Yeah.
because how accurate is it? There's a
It's
lot
good to
Because
know.
of.
marijuana
Yeah.
stays in your
Yeah.
system
Yeah.
for, you know,
A month.
a month.
Yeah.
Oh
So,
wow.
I mean, if it's in your mouth, it's going to be in your mouth too. Like,
Yeah.
so-
Actually, I've heard if you're a heavy smoker,
Uh-huh.
marijuana is in your system for 3 months.
Oh, shit.
That's the most. It could be 3
Wow.
months.
It's going to be in your
So
like,
forget
3
that. Forget that job interview, right?
Once he starts, he doesn't stop. He just keeps going.
Don't come to Silos's castle if you want to take a test.
Yeah.
I
She
better
all
not,
dirty. Sorry, she like.
I better not go to play anywhere.
I ruined everybody's chances of
Oh,
getting a new job.
I
shit.
smoke with Tom.
There goes my promotion.
Yeah.
But go ahead, guys.
That's why you gotta be an entrepreneur.
Keep on watching because we need the money.
Exactly.
Waitress.
Yeah, which one of us is gonna fucking go viral already?
Well, let's see.
Oh,
Never know.
let's tell him
But
right now.
Mr.
share
Tony
my
with the
comment.
different accent over here.
Like, he
Ah,
he's
he's
back.
Hey, how you doing? You know what I mean? Hey, bada bang.
He here, people. He here. He made it up.
Right. But that's good though. It's, everything else you guys want to share and
Yeah, we
That was
come-
actually that was pretty
coming
cool.
up
Like
on
you
Goldie's
keep on
time.
going more.
I'm coming up on your time.
Yeah,
Yeah, we got a couple minutes to talk
uh,
about.
But
our
you know,
curfew's
we
almost
like to
up.
talk about a lot of shit. Something happened in the wrestling community this week.
Oh, bring it up.
So CM Punk is back on the
He's
WWE
back. Don't tell me
after saying he would never come back. This just shows you.
how much
Jordan
wait,
did.
how
He
much?
busted
Yeah,
Jordan.
yeah.
This shows you that all elite wrestling is really fucking. They're really fucking with WWE. For them to say, okay, we'll bring you back, CM Punk. We'll give you whatever you want.
Is that a money?
As a
thing,
wrestling
or-
fan, I mean, it's a big deal.
No.
Well, I think
wanna-
when you're a
agree.
fan
It's
of
like-
anything,
No, like, it's kind of cool because I think it's cool. I think it's like super cool now because I grew up a wrestling fan. I think it's really super dope that WWE now is like at a point where it's almost like a fucking NFL brand.
it's
They're
a
about to
franchise,
crumble
a
because
sports-
AEW is on them, man.
AEW's all over 'em, but
All elite wrestling is a new wrestling. That
Oh, okay. I'm like,
to
he
me,
did-
money talks.
Dusty
but,
Rhodes' son.
but to
Cody
me,
Rhodes,
money
he's the one
talks
that-
though.
Dusty Rhodes is who?
His son,
His son.
Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes.
Who's Cody Rhodes?
Dusty Rhodes'
Dusty
son.
Rhodes' son. Do you know Dusty?
Ah.
Oh, see,
Gold
He's not
Dust? Do you know
familiar,
Gold Dust?
Oh, I
knows
know
wrestling.
Gold Dust, the dude that painted.
His dad.
Oh, it's his dad.
Yes.
The dude that painted himself all gold and had a
His,
wig.
his dad is Dusty Rhodes.
Oh, okay.
Gold
And-
Dust's
and-
dad is Dusty Rhodes. He's the American Dream. He's the bionic elbow. the bionic elbow.
Cody
Dusty
Rhodes
Rhodes was his main rival
is his
was
brother.
Ric Flair.
Oh, okay.
Ric Flair's one of his main rivals was Dusty
I know
Rhodes,
Ric
the American
Flair,
Dream. His son is Goldust and Dusty Rhodes and Cody Rhodes.
Did he?
Cody Rhodes is one of the main guys of AEW, and
He's
that's
the
his
vice.
wrestling.
He's the vice president.
It's his-
He's got
it's
something
his
to do with it.
wrestling.
Was he in wrestling before
Organization.
he became an organization?
Yeah,
He was-
yeah.
he
He was
was
in
with
WWE.
What was his
He was in
name?
WWE.
Cody Rhodes.
Oh, he
Cody
went
Rhodes.
Off, he went off,
Yeah.
Okay, he went off the name. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think what it was is, and it,
He's
I
got
mean,
a
you've
good
heard
thing.
it.
He's got a good thing going on with AEW because he's got hungry wrestlers that are really good,
Wow.
and he's got like a couple of superstars like Chris Jericho.
But why does he have them?
because they're good.
No,
Yeah.
because Vince will not give
Oh, because
everyone
Vince.
TV time because he has his favorites.
Yeah.
So all these guys just kind of get left in the background. They're like, you know what?
Vince has favorites.
This is my life, but you don't even let me give me a chance. So they're like, fuck WWE.
I fucking love talking about wrestling. Like wrestling's so crazy. There's so much politics and
There's a lot of anger in it too. There's a lot of arguments.
yeah, there is. There's a lot of
The
politics
fans
in
will
wrestling.
argue.
More than music?
Like
Yeah,
Goldie and
because-
just as much. Like Goldie and I, we know like all the backstage shit. Like it's crazy. I've been like following wrestling forever.
Is it because of the money though, or why do you think that is?
Yeah,
Yeah,
be-
of course
well,
it's-
yeah,
yeah,
the fame,
it's
the
exposure.
fame and the money.
Yeah.
They
Fame
want to
and
be out
fortune.
there. They want to be the main guy.
Correct.
Everybody's
I
trying
see.
to get the top spot
I
or
see.
the top spots.
But there's
Wow.
some guys who
Wow.
just want to be like a legitimate superstar. Like I don't have to be like at the top, but at least let me shine.
Correct.
And he won't let them. He only
Wow.
puts the people that he
Wow.
wants.
Yeah, because when
No,
you
I
said-
agree with it. I like CM Punk though because he's real. I like that he fucking talked about how he has a fucking bad relationship with Triple H. Triple H is his boss, and he says like he's all fuck. I gotta deal with my boss again.
A lot of us don't like dealing with the boss, but
Because when you said off of the Vince McMahon and what's his name, Cody?
Cody
It
Rhodes.
kind of sounds like the Death Row and Bad Boy thing. Like, hey, you don't want a producer all up in the videos, all up in the thing.
It's
Come to-
similar. It's
come to
kind of
Death Row,
similar.
you
But
know?
but Cody Rhodes is a wrestler.
He's
He's
a
one
wrestler,
of their top
though.
wrestlers.
Yeah, he's true.
And
He's
he's
like
also
Dr.
the
Dre.
vice
But
president.
I got that idea. Like, yo,
Cody
that
Rhodes is like
kind of
Dr.
sounds
Dre.
like, yo,
Yeah.
fuck Vince, man, come over
Come
here.
on,
I'm not gonna be all up in your.
Like you don't
you
want
could do your
Shane
thing. Yeah.
McMahon being on fucking
Yeah.
It is. It
on
is
Yeah.
like
SmackDown
that.
every
It is
every
like
month,
that. It
every-
is.
whatever the fuck.
That's why Chris Jericho signed to them.
So do you feel that the money involved sometimes ruins the whole sport of
Culture.
wrestling or
Well, money
art?
ruins
That's-
it.
I-
everything.
I know
Doesn't
that-
matter what-
I know that in music, I feel that happens.
Hey, people gotta get
Unfortunately.
paid regardless.
I get it. But sometimes I think it becomes like a greed thing where it just messes everything up in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's because I think
It
I see
does.
it like in the NFL and so,
Everything.
because everything just becomes more about making money and less of the art or the sport. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate. I
It's
think.
less about like the
Yeah.
actual like game, and it's more about like guys trying to like show off what they could do so they could get stats.
You see what happened on Thursday night? The Steelers and the Browns.
Oh yeah, the fight, right?
Like I didn't have.
Oh yeah, they were been talking about that.
He
So
took,
much.
he's suspended for the rest of the season.
The coach.
No, the guy who hit him, Garrett.
Okay.
He hit the Steelers quarterback. I forgot his name.
Yeah.
Rudolph. I think it was Rudolph. He
with the
they,
helmet.
they got into a scuffle, took his helmet off.
Wow.
The guy moved back, but the fucking guy still came back and rushed him, which is
Yeah.
kind of to blame for that too.
Yeah.
But the guy who's really to blame is the guy who hit him with the helmet. So then he swings the helmet and hits him right in the fucking head with it.
Because technically it's a weapon now, right?
Yeah.
I
Well, that's
about
what
it.
they
I
were
didn't
talking
see it.
about.
That's
That
fucking
You
they,
saw it?
assault.
Did you see
they,
it?
they were asking
I
if,
didn't see it.
I saw the replay. I didn't see it when it happened, but I saw the
The-
same night.
I saw that the Browns won.
He
and
whacked
that
him
kind of
hard?
tripped me out.
well,
It wasn't like a full fucking impact. It was like the bottom of the helmet, but he still hit him.
yeah.
Like it's clear that he hit him. It doesn't matter how hard he hit you.
I want to see it.
That's fucking assault. That's not.
Yeah, that's still.
You're a professional. Like,
Yeah.
you shouldn't act like that.
Yeah.
You got into a scuffle when the helmet came off.
Yeah.
Open your
And-
fucking hand and let it drop.
And especially when
And
it
if you
comes.
still want to fight, then fight, but not with a fucking weapon.
And especially when it comes to the quarterback.
Yeah, you don't want to
NFL
mess up the
protects
quarterback. But
The NFL
you know,
protects him.
they were asking if he was going to press charges because they were saying
They're kind of, when I heard about it, they were kind of keeping quiet about it. I don't
Okay.
know. I don't think they want to involve like a
The
police
law.
report because
Yeah.
they said up to
Yeah.
that point there was no police report.
They're gonna
Yeah,
They're gonna do an in-league investigation and
Oh,
try
wow.
to figure out.
So
So
it's
they're-
getting
they're
real
probably
serious.
gonna
That's
text-
what I
text
think.
them.
I'm just saying that's what I think. That's what I think.
Wow.
We'll see. Yeah, he's probably gonna get taxed.
But I mean, he should be able to come back next season. They shouldn't just be like, "Oh, you're out of the
Yeah,
league."
no, you never know. You
But
never know.
I think sports have changed
You
a
never
lot.
know.
though,
Only because
I mean,
it's the quarterback. Once the quarterback's
But
involved,
the quarterback is also to blame. He's the one who fucking rushed him. He's the one who came back.
I have to see it. I have to see it. I don't know.
I think sportsmanship is pretty much gone in a lot of sports, though, because you used to have that
It's all about
before,
the
you
money.
know.
All about that paper.
It's all about that cheddar.
Either
I mean,
that or-
even now, where even some football athletes, you know, NFL, they do lawsuits about injuries and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that it's okay for them to get injured, but it's just that how much it has changed over the.
I think just
you know.
people are generally softer now. They
Yeah.
you know,
You think?
back in the days, people were like, fuck it, I got hit. Who cares?
Yeah.
Now everybody wants to sue each other.
Yeah,
and,
it's
you know.
money. Man.
It's the America goes back to the money thing, huh? But I'm sorry, going back to lucha libre,
Well,
you
not
know,
lucha
you know,
libre.
Mexican wrestling. I think.
Oh, you gotta take your head off to the
Yeah.
The
I mean, those guys
It's
give
not
their
lucha
lives up sometimes. you
Those
know?
guys are
yeah.
fucking
Yeah,
awesome.
but it's a different politics over there.
oh,
You know, and it's not as much money as it is here. You know, like I said, it goes back to the
I think over there.
But how is it over there? Like you know all the guys over there.
Yeah.
I think
because they
yeah.
all shine equally.
I
Yeah,
think over
yeah.
there, like, not only they shine equally, but I think more like it's they all do it too because they get opportunities off of that too.
do they?
Yeah, like they could be like showing up at parties.
Oh,
They
Didn't
could,
Santos
they could,
and
they could
like
be
this-
teachers.
Did
They
they see
made-
the movies?
They
Yeah,
can have
they
their
did a lot
own,
of
they have
money
their own
with-
wrestling
yeah.
schools. They
Yeah.
come out in movies.
yeah.
Oh, Mis Máscaras.
Yeah, yeah.
Santos.
Mis or
Yeah.
mil?
Mil Máscaras.
Or
mis-
my mascara.
Mil Máscaras.
Tony.
Oh my God. I'm,
Translation.
Tony's losing the accent. But go ahead.
fucking translation. I'm getting fucking ripped. What can I say?
Remember he said earlier he likes to get high.
Holy shit! It's in.
It's hitting. He gone, people.
Um.
Time out.
Good.
Yeah.
We're time to sign her
So,
off.
so that's all of how I feel about like my own views on the whole cannabis initiation and the whole community itself.
So I think we've learned a couple things today. It's fuck Kanye West. Marijuana is beautiful.
Yes.
Number
CM
one.
Punk's back.
that
and
didn't
some
last
other
long.
stuff in between there.
Yeah, that didn't last long. Also, keep an eye out for Silos' Strain reviews. We get more into cannabis cultivation.
I think next one we should actually watch a vintage
Yeah.
wrestling match like you've been
Got it.
talking about.
Oh wow, yeah, that
We've
was
been talking about
Next
doing that,
one
and we
we're
should
gonna
do
do
it.
that.
Cool.
Definitely, like I want to get something from either the 80s or the 90s, and it's either gonna be WWE or
I'll be
like,
Gorilla Monsoon.
or even
I'll be
NWA,
commentating like Gorilla Monsoon.
NWA or WCW, and that's like only those three right there.
Yeah. My era was Andre the Giant and Roddy Piper,
Yeah.
those
That's
guys.
dope. That's-
You know,
that's all good
that's
stuff.
what I
That's when
wrestling.
top
that's when I
notch
started
stuff.
watching.
Yeah, yeah.
I think when I first started, it was I knew like I already knew like everybody's different shit. I already knew WWF was Bruno Sammartino, and then NWA. Well, no, before it was actually AWA was Ric Flair and Greg Gagne and Rick Martel, and then who else? Even before that, actually, I knew about Chief Wahoo
The
McDaniels.
Freebirds were on.
And even before,
Yeah.
and the
AW.
Southern shit, that was WWCW. That was the
Wow.
Von Erichs. The Von
Come
Erichs.
on, fucking Von Erichs.
And then there was also, before that, there was a Gorgeous George. And I actually knew Gorgeous George's daughter. Relax, not like that. It's because my grandfather was wheelchair bound and used to be picked up by Gorgeous George's daughter in a bus that picked up wheelchair bound people and convalescent people.
Wow.
And even like then they like introduced me to Gorgeous George matches in black and white, and I used to watch that back in the day.
Wow.
Like I was a little kid.
Wow.
So yeah.
That's good to know that. Cool.
Wrestling big time. Love wrestling.
You should end it out.
Well,
So
Thank you, CeeLo, for
I just
having
wanna
us.
thank- want to thank
Thank you.
Shiest
Shiesters! Signing out! We had fun with this one too.
Dre,
Right here.
Goldie. Thank you y'all for coming down
Thank you, CeeLo.
to the
Always.
chateau,
Always.
Thank you, man.
to the first premiere installment of Mamma Mia, it's Stone. Hey!
Where's the accent?
We out of here.
Don't forget to share, like, comment, and
That's right.
repost.
That's
people.
right.